So, man, episode 3 already, man. They're climbing.
Yeah.
You know, this has been a tough week, man.
It's been a tough month.
Yeah, and we barely halfway through it.
Yeah. This day, 19.
You know, um, we try to keep this light, but I think after this week, man, I think we need to bring up some stuff.
Uh, yeah. No, absolutely.
I don't know if it's the holidays, but or maybe it's just bad luck, man. But we're 2 weeks into the year, and we already know of 3 veterans that have taken their life.
Yeah. Yeah. One served with us.
Yep.
And I know Rob's buddy took his. And then who's the third?
I believe it was shared to us. I don't think we actually knew the person.
So you actually had somebody call you, right?
Yeah.
How long? And you spent a long time on the phone with them, huh?
Yeah. We talked about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's what we do.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know?
I'm glad.
Uh,
It means a lot.
yeah. I know I talked to somebody we both know a while back. No, not really a while back, but they they were sharing how they dropped into the dark zone, I guess you could call it, and they had to fight to get out of that.
It really it doesn't help. And I don't know if it's better or worse, but when you're already on medication for PTSD, ain't no secret that PTSD's got a shit ton of different symptoms, and for each person, things are different. Their triggers are different, their reactions to the medication is different, and you get so many veterans that start that help process, and it doesn't work the first time, and they give up.
Well, it's like if they're on meds
Yeah,
to begin
right,
with. A lot
right.
of them don't even go to the VA. So
I mean, I didn't start with the VA either.
yeah,
I reached out to a civilian doctor because I didn't want to deal with the fucking VA.
right. It's like always starting over anyway.
It is.
I mean, every time they don't read your records, they want you to fucking explain everything from the beginning again every fucking time. So
And then whatever medication that they're pushing, every clinic you go to pushes a different brand, a different name, different type of drug.
right,
You know.
but yeah, no, I mean, you still in contact with that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
That's good. Yeah, I had somebody we served with. I don't know. They didn't want to talk though, so we text back and forth for the longest time. A couple of them actually in the last week, I think. Um, one had no thoughts of suicide, but last year her significant other killed himself.
Hmm.
So it was a hard Christmas for all
Oh,
of them.
absolutely.
So
And I kind of wonder if that's not where some of these have came from. It's just right after the holidays, they made it through it, but just didn't have enough to keep going. I don't know. It just seems really weird that we're 2 weeks into the year and there's already been 3 that we know of. I mean, we're just a small little group. We got what, 3,000 likes on a page, 80 on YouTube. I mean, that's not a big following.
no,
You're talking three people out of 3,000. That's 1% of the people we know.
yeah, no, it is, and I mean, I had a guy commit suicide back in El Paso that was a good friend of mine, and if he would have just reached out, I mean, that's what we all say after it happens. Why the fuck didn't you reach out? But it's, I mean, you really don't know what's going on in their minds when that's occurring. They got that blanket on them when you see them and shit.
Yeah.
And they're playing it off, and we're too stupid to fucking notice it, pretty much, as a brother and sister. So, It's difficult. I got it. And, like I was telling Rob, when I was talking to Rob, I was like, yeah, I know it's fucking hard, man. But, especially being in two different states, you know, you're talking to them over the phone or fucking through text message or emails or what have you. You ain't seen them in, a year, 2 years. You don't know really like what's fucks. I mean, you could be in person and still not know like what the fuck is going on in their minds, So,
Right.
I mean, one's too many, but hell, 20, what's today? The 19th. We know about 3 of them already. And it's, that's way too fucking many,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think that's more than we had in a 6-month period last year that, in our little group that we knew about.
That we knew about.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about, out of the people that we knew.
Right.
So, I mean, that's scary going into this year, man.
It's, because I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, but I fell in that dark zone once too.
I have too.
And the only thing that pulled me out was that little 6-year-old in there pulled me out of that. But it's unexplainable, really. I mean, because like me, I don't dream, I don't have nightmares, I don't have nothing like that. Flashbacks come during the day when I'm awake, and I got that short fuse too. So anger is a big thing for me. That has probably ended the last relationship and came close a few times on this one. So it's I stay away from the tequila when I go out, put it that way. Because the fuse is already short. I don't need something to ignite it.
Yeah. You don't need an oxidizer, huh?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same way. It's the same way with me. I fell in that. I was falling into that as I was retiring. And those thoughts were rampant in my mind.
Well, I don't think that people see that either. Because like I got it. Civilians, yeah, you spend 20, 30 years, at one job and shit. But we spent 20, 30 years in a job that, I mean, for the last couple decades, it's just like we were overseas.
Yeah.
We were taking fire, all this other shit. Even the ones, the FOBIS, they call them, even them, they were taking mortars.
Yeah.
So I mean, they still got some part of that. So it's
I was in a truck that got hit with one that didn't detonate.
Yeah.
Had it gone off, yeah, we wouldn't be sitting here talking.
For people to like not understand where the fuck we're coming from or anything like that. That's why we're here.
This went through my mind earlier. I was, working on some of the articles because I go back to work tomorrow. So I needed content to get us through to when I was off again. And I was looking at some of the articles from the guy I've been talking to that was in the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know this, but he actually wrote a book. So I'm gonna buy a copy of that book. I'm waiting for him to respond. Once I get the name, I'm going to order the book. I've shared a few of his blogs, and I was sitting there thinking with some of the stuff that we talked about how I feel the hardest fought war came from the Vietnam War, and I do believe part of the things they went through is where their PTSD came from, and then they came home to a country that really had turned their back on them. So I get that, but then I was thinking about it. But that was one war. World War I and II was one war. The Korean War was one war. We started out in Afghanistan, and next thing you know, within a year or 2 years later, we were fighting two enemies on two different soils.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, it stretches you thin.
They were fighting the same enemy. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah,
it was like
right.
They were fighting in Africa, they were fighting in Germany, they were fighting, Sicily, like all these different countries.
But it was the same enemy. We had different tactics, different countries. I mean, you would go to NTC and you would be learning tactics, but then if you went to Iraq, they weren't the same TTPs that the Afghanis used.
Well, yeah, TTPs and ROE change consist. I mean, every deployment is almost different.
And once you came back, you didn't get that break. You got a year. If you were lucky, you got a year, and then you were gone again.
Yeah.
If you lived through Vietnam, when you came back, you didn't have to go back.
Well, they were over there for years, though. They weren't just over there for 6 months or something. Some of them dudes were
right. Some of them voluntarily stayed. Absolutely.
Some of them didn't have a choice, though. There wasn't no replacement for them. And I'm talking to leaders and shit that were over there.
Right.
It's like, nah, you ain't going nowhere. Wait till we get a replacement, and then next thing you know, they're there for even longer. Or they end up dead.
I just feel like that's one of the contributing factors to why you see so many people that have PTSD, because the combat themselves, if you compare the combat to any of the other wars, I don't think it was as hard fighting
for us
compared to them.
Well, I mean, the only thing was really terrible about us was after the initial invasion when them fucking IEDs came out.
Right. It was a distant war for us.
That's what started really fucking people up. So
even when you got hit, there wasn't somebody that you wasn't looking in the whites of somebody's eyes.
No, you were. That was RPGs.
Right. But I'm saying they were at a distance. You weren't.
No. They were about not even 50 yards from us.
Really?
Yeah. No. They weren't shooting that far away. They were behind this little dirt hill. One was inside the house. He actually shot it off in the house. So that was when we got hit by the tank, though.
Right.
It hit in the tank, yeah. But yeah, no, I got you.
It's just, I mean, they're all different, and it just, listening to his stories, I was just sitting there thinking to myself, what's causing it for us? And I felt like one of the contributing factors was you didn't get that break. You were either in Iraq or Afghanistan, and you were back home training to go back, And I feel like we were stretched so thin. And I'd have to do the research on this, but I'd be willing to bet you too. A lot of that was through a Democrat ran office. So I wonder how shrunk the military was already just from budget cuts during that time frame too. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was or not. I haven't done the research, but historically, Democrats usually shrink the military to cut budgets, and the Republicans usually increase it and spend money. Not that I'm arguing for either side. It's just I kind of wonder if we were already shrunk while having to fight two different wars.
Right. No, I got you.
Yeah. One of the things that, that motivated me also, talking to that other guy, I wanted to come up with a way to make it faster for somebody to reach us. And that's what made me decide to build that app. And in that app is going to be a chat line that they can go straight to us, to where we'll get a notification that somebody wants to chat, versus Facebook Messenger that's not working half the time.
I mean, I get them.
Do you?
Yeah.
I will now that I've fixed it.
I'm just saying. But, I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, you'll keep working on the app. I got it. But it's still in construction.
Right. It won't be live for probably a week.
Longer than that. You can't just say it's live. I don't want to. Anyway, yeah, you got an app coming up. But not for Apple users, is what I'm saying.
It's not for Apple users.
So.
Not yet. It's down the road. So, I mean, all we're asking is reach out. It doesn't have to be us. It could be the crisis line. It could be to a buddy. Don't, if you need help and you're depressed, say something. Don't wait for somebody to see the signs.
Yes. Like several have already.
Yep.
So, Plenty of ways to do it.
Yep.
Plenty of ways.
Crisis line 988 extension 1. Our website, leavingthesideline.org has a hotline of some sorts themselves. There's resources on our page for places, they're not necessarily for in crisis, but things that where you can meet people and get out and do different things. Talk to like-minded people.
Yep.
Realize you're not the only person going through this stuff. There's a lot of other people that are going through this stuff.
I know they can reach us. I mean, Instagram, Facebook, our
Twitter
website,
now.
Twitter. Reach out to us and let us know you want to talk. Either phone call, text. You let us know what you want to do. We'll do it.
Yep.
We don't need another.
You can hit us up on Facebook and suggest things to us. I mean, me and Doug are always trying to find something new to bring to the veterans, different activities, different organizations. We are open to suggestions, man. It's not a dictatorship, man.
Absolutely.
So if you have ideas, comment. If you need help, say something. Reach out. If you just got questions about the different types of therapies, VA, all those types of things, man, hit us up. We'll tell you the good, the bad, the ugly. Between me and Doug, we've either done it or know somebody that has.
Talked like probably half a dozen. No, probably a dozen different shrinks, huh?
Yeah.
At least. Minimal, yeah.
Yep. So with that, man, y'all take care. Be safe.